Yeah, I mean, a lot of the way that you have positioned or created your model around it is very much like the thought framework that we teach at Better Than Bitter, thinking about the fact that it's not our life circumstances or the facts in our life that are creating feelings that are getting us our results. It's the thoughts that we're having about what's going on in our lives that are creating our feelings. And when we feel a certain way, so if we feel like we're insecure, we're feeling fearful, we're feeling anxious about something to do with a thought about money, and that fear or that anxiety or that insecurity is going to affect the way that we act and the way that we react. It's going to affect the way we behave. It's going to create either actions or inactions in our lives, right? And when we act, react, behave, or don't act, that's what's creating the results. So if you think about the outcomes in your life, they're directly related to the beliefs that you've created, the thoughts you've created, the stories you're telling yourself. And if you can rethink, you can refeel, and you're going to get different results, right? So that's my hashtag rethink, refeel, because it's exactly what you say. It's the stories and the beliefs. It's the words that we choose within those thoughts. It's the I cans and I wills versus the I can'ts and I won't. It's the, like I said, it's the belief system you created. Those aren't facts. They're your truths versus the truth. I say the truth is your facts, your circumstance. Your truths are what you're making it mean. Your truth is that thought. Your truth is that story. Well, it's just, again, that's your truth. You've created that for yourself. So in order to feel differently, so you can act and show up differently, so you can get the result, you got to rethink. You got to just flip the script. So I love the fact that you've taken kind of that thought framework, or it's a lot of cognitive behavioral therapy work. You've made it into this really cool financial model showing how it works with the relationships that we have with money, our natures, how we value our currency, whether it's time, whether it's energy. I love that. So I am going to wrap it up because this is a 3-part series with Tom. And, some of it is definitely repeat from episode 31, but it's never too much repetitiveness because, again, really understanding this idea around nature versus nurture, understanding your currency, understanding the relationship that you have with money. Like, that's all so important in creating happiness. So it goes back to this, does money equal happiness? Well, it does in different forms, but not in the way that people think of it. I have to have a lot of money in order to be happy. And that's not what we're talking about at all today. So I always like to wrap up with the kind of the 3 top tips. And I want people to think about all of the nature versus nurture that Tom talked about today. What is the type of relationship you have with money? Meaning, what is that currency? Is it time? Is it energy? Is it health? Is it relationships? Like, what is your currency that is important to you to make you feel what I consider rich? Right? So the other piece of that is, are you a protector? Are you a manager? Are you a pursuer? And like I said, and kind of converted that to be talking about it, and as it relates to divorce, there's one place in there that you're going to find comfort, and the other two, it doesn't mean that you don't do them, because in divorce, you're going to have to do all 3. But, putting it in my own words, like, take some time to figure out how to do those other things, because it's about doing things that were causing you discomfort and then recognizing that you're actually good at those things, and that you should give yourself a pat on the back and feel empowered by the fact that you've taken on something that maybe gave you discomfort, but now you've recognized you actually can be pretty good at it. And the third piece of it is just around the stories and the beliefs that we talk to ourselves, and those